How come a man on the show? I had never heard about this term women elevation. All I've heard about is women empowerment.
I didn't want to be branded as, the women who's only going to be inviting women to the show, because I truly believe that women elevation is a cause and a movement in which both men and women together walk that path.
I know a lady who's in her 60s. She lost 6.5 crore rupees.
During the course of such crimes that's happening today, what behaviors or oversights make even the smartest users vulnerable to these digital snakes?
The maximum cybercrimes have happened are with the youth, especially in their 30s and 40s. And again, which industry? IT and finance. I know from India alone, round about 30 to 40,000 people have been kidnapped. I would say instead of sabka katega, I would say sabko dasega. So this is one snake. I mean, the cybercrime that it is going to not just hiss but also bite each and every person who's in the cyber world. Know certain things so that you don't get bitten by these snakes.
Ritesh Bhatia is the founder of V4Web Cybersecurity and a highly regarded cybercrime investigator, incident response expert, and data privacy consultant with over 24 years of experience. Known for solving high-level cybercrime cases, Ritesh has collaborated extensively with multinational corporations, national enterprises, and government organizations. But let's also know that he's one of the most sought after speakers for raising cybercrime awareness in our country, delivering his insights in the simplest and often humorous fashion, making complex cybersecurity topics easy for anyone to grasp. And a multiple award winner and a 4-time TEDx speaker, Ritesh Bhatia is a prominent media figure whose expert insights on trending cybercrimes and cybersecurity have been featured in national and international publications. He frequently educates the public about cyber threats through appearances on national television channels and various radio platforms. Notably, and very interestingly, he played himself in MTV's award-winning show, The Troll Police. Ritesh regularly addresses national and international conferences and has spoken at various corporations and institutions such as UNICEF, UN, Women, the Reserve Bank of India, and various units of the Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy. Recently, Ritesh was felicitated by the Honorable Governor of Maharashtra for his contributions to supporting women tribals in the Palghar district of Maharashtra. And who else than a guest like him to come and support our cause of women elevation through the Snakes and Ladders show. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put it together and give a round of applause while welcoming Mr. Ritesh Bhatia. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our guest of the SNL show today, sitting right in front of us, Mr. Ritesh Bhatia. Ritesh, I'm extremely excited. I can't tell you, I've been following you very closely. I've almost been a fan of your work, of your interviews on the television. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to know, how do you feel being in the Snakes and Ladders show today?
Nervous. And such a long introduction. I actually got bored listening to it. Even I didn't know, I have done so many things as such. But I have a question for you, Ronita. That how come a man on the show? It is a show of women elevation. So I was very, very surprised, when I got a call from your team that Ronita ma'am wants you to interview you. And I asked them the same thing, that, it's a women elevation show. It's a show for women elevation. I saw your last 3 episodes also, and I think they were fantastic. So you're doing a commendable job. I must say that I had never heard about this term women elevation. All I've heard about is women empowerment. So my question to you is rather, What am I doing over here?
Okay, so that is Ritesh Bhatia because he turns the interviewer into the interviewee. But to answer your question, Ritesh, I didn't want to be branded as the women who's only going to be inviting women to the show, because I truly believe that women elevation is a cause and a movement in which both men and women together walk that path.
Wow,
And
that's amazing.
given the fact that I personally know you've been solving so many cases, of cyber threats, cyber bullying, and cyber crimes against women. I think most of the
Yeah,
times
yeah.
when you get a call, and we have interacted earlier also, that
True.
you did speak about such cases where women have come to you, where they have lost crores of money, they've been, put into cyber arrest, etc. Those cases
Right.
that have come up in recent future.
Absolutely,
I thought
yes.
that you would definitely one of the most eloquent guests of my SNL show to talk about this topic, which is so very catching up, and which is a looming threat on our women today.
Absolutely.
So I think that answers your question. Why do we have
Absolutely.
Ritesh Bhatia on the show?
I understand. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Ronita.
So we are very, very honored, Ritesh, and I would like to now first tell you that the first segment of our show, and if you have watched the pattern of
Oh, I
course,
have. Yes.
so you know that we are going to throw a lot of questions which are going to be snakes question for you.
Okay.
And we are very keen and very curious, and we are anticipating you're going to give us some fantastic and interesting narratives and stories from your journey.
Oh, I have plenty of them too.
Okay, wow, I can't wait. So my first question, and I'm sure the audience is going to give a roaring applause. We've obviously heard Ritesh Bhatia's famous dialogue, and I'm going to say this, hashtag Sabka Katega. So watch him in any interview, watch any of his, write-ups, that's what he talks about. So Ritesh, my first question in the snake segment is that you very often say Sabka Katega, meaning everyone is at the risk of falling victim to cyber crimes.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on why do you firmly believe in this and why no one is immune?
So, Ronita, because this is a snakes and ladders show, I would say instead of sabka katega, I would say sabko dasega. So this is one snake. I mean, the cybercrime that it is going to not just hiss but also bite each and every person who's in the cyber world. So for today's show, let's not use sabka katega, we'll say sabko dasega. The cyber crimes are going to impact everyone. A very simple example is if you have to check out, have I been pawned, just Google have I been pawned, enter your Gmail ID or your personal email ID, or just enter your mobile number, you will see that your data has already been breached.
Okay.
Already been breached. You will see that. So while you have taken care a lot, these organizations haven't taken care of the data. So I would say your name, your number, your email ID, your address, in some cases, the credit card you used, all this information is out over there. So I would urge each and every viewer right now, go and just Google it, have I been and the first link that comes up, click over there, enter your email ID, and you will see where all your the data has been breached. And that's the reason you get so many calls also every day. And that's why I literally say sabka katega. We all are going to become victims of cybercrime, or probably we don't know that we are already a victim of cybercrime. So when I put my email ID, I see that my personal details have been breached in more than 17 cases.
Okay.
So for example, in LinkedIn, Big Basket, what did I order, when did I order, how did I pay, where was it delivered. So that is just one of them. Like Domino's had a data breach. So over there, what did you order, where did you play, at what time you placed the order, what all was, how many times have you ordered in the past 5 years, all that data, your mobile number, how did you pay, who delivered it, your address, everything is out over there. So if you can imagine the kind of risk it is. So let me, when we are talking about the risk, now let me tell you about this one particular thing. As a woman, you know that suppose if I say, okay, Ronita, your name and email ID is out over there. I don't think so you're going to be that uncomfortable about it. You will say, no, it's okay. Now, the world knows my email ID. I say, okay, the world also knows your mobile number. You may say, I'm fine with it. Because this is how we take privacy. We really don't take it seriously. So now I have your name. I also have your mobile number. I also have your email ID. You'll say, so what? It's there at so many places. Then I say, okay, your photographs. You'll say, okay, it's there at an Instagram also. I say, now, but your physical address is also there, where you stay. Does that concern you?
It definitely does, Ritesh.
Okay, so now it concerns you for that. Now, if I have to say you bought a particular product and I know on what date and what product you bought, you may say, okay, big deal about that also, because I keep doing online shopping. What's there about it? It's fine. What if I have to tell you that particular product, I know the size of it, the color, the pattern you bought, whether it was wired or not wired, whether it was padded or not padded. So basically I'm referring to the lingerie.
That's scary.
It is scary.
Okay. So, Ritesh, we are moving into some very dark spaces of the cybercrime world now.
Okay.
I mean, earlier we never thought that, the world is going to get so limited and we're all going to be under the threat of cybercrimes or any cyber attack. Now, my next question to you is that what are some of the scariest or most shocking cases involving women that you have encountered in your career?
So I think when it comes to women, there are many cyber crimes happening against women, and in fact I see a lot more happening with women as compared to children and as compared to senior citizens also. Of lately, if I have to tell you something about the trending ones, digital arrest is one of them. And if you see, the media has covered it a lot. It's become a buzzword now, and even the Prime Minister spoke about it. So, which means it's been that scary. Now, I'll give you one example. I'll give you about a case study. So, what is happening in a digital arrest? Firstly, let's understand that you get a call. Nowadays you're getting those automated calls also, that your mobile number will be blocked in 2 hours.
Yes.
Okay. Or we are calling from the Delhi court. We are calling from the Mumbai court. Third is we found some drugs in the parcel. The parcel scam, as we call it. We are calling from this courier company, or we are calling from that particular courier company, and we found drugs in that. In all these cases, what is happening? Sometimes you bite the bait. You literally want to explore further as to what is happening. So there could be two reasons behind it. One is you just panicked, and you fell into that. Or the second, you thought, okay, let me play around with it. Let me try to understand. But the way these guys talk, you actually start believing that the samne wala jo hai is actually the real police officer. When they are calling you, so it is like through the IVR, and then they say within 2 hours it will be blocked. Press 9. You press 9, and the particular person speaks to you कि आपका जो mobile number है, we are going to now block it because we've also found that this number is being used in certain criminal activities. Now they have a lot of data of you. They'll say, are you Ronita Sengupta? You'll say yes. You stay over here? Yes. This is your bank. This is your bank account number. This is your Aadhaar number. This is your PAN number. Now, even if you are trying to play along with them, somewhere you start believing, yeah, this could be true. This could be serious. Now, this is where you start like shaky. You start becoming little shaky as such, because you feel, no, there is something. These guys actually have the information. You say, yeah, this. Then they'll say, listen, madam, you have this mobile number and your Aadhaar number or your identity has been misused, and you really need to now come down to this particular police station. Now they know you are Pune based, so they are going to call you into Delhi, and you are now shaking over there. You find this somewhat to be the truth. So they say, speak to the police officer. Now the police officer comes. He starts talking very rudely to you. So this is what is really happening a lot with women. When they come to know it's a woman, he starts like pressing you like anything. He starts talking very rudely to you. He says, download the Skype now. He makes you download the Skype, or he will do a video call on WhatsApp with you. You will see him to be in the uniform. You will see there is a police station behind. But it's just a set. It's just a set that they have created. You will see one Hawaldar taking a particular person inside as if he's been arrested. You will see this police officer, आप उसका badge देखोगे, he will also show you the ID. He'll ask you also to, show your ID to him. All these things are happening, and then he's going to say, I know, okay, this is your husband's name, this is your father's name. We are also going to arrest them. That is the time when you say, boss, this is really getting like really bad. Now, this is where you fall into it. And then he says, if you're going to walk out of your room, if you're going to like tell anything to your husband or to your father or to your friend, we will also take them into the custody. Now, because of that, you say, okay, let me just speak to him. So now you start speaking to that particular person, and this is where you are under a digital arrest. So many women have fallen prey to it. I know a lady who's in her 60s. She lost 6.5 crore rupees.
Oh my God, that's quite a amount.
Then there is a lady, she's from Delhi. She lost 4.5 crores rupees, and she's a dentist. Then there's a lady from Bangalore who lost 10 lakhs. You'll say, okay, now when I'm hearing these many crores, 10 lakhs is not sounding too much. But in this case, Ronita, what had happened was she not only just lost 10 lakhs, she was made to strip completely in front of the camera. Because this was the proper that, she got the call that we found drugs in the parcel, and she was placed under digital arrest like all these other women have been. But they also told her to strip completely, because at that point of time she may be hiding drugs in her private parts. So she was made to strip completely in front of the camera. Okay, and these are the so-called police officers, the fake officers obviously, who are watching her. They made her strip, they made her walk, spread her legs, turn across also, open her completely, so that the officers were like, convinced, yeah, you don't have the drugs on inside your body.
So alarming and
Yeah.
extremely horrendous.
And later on, now they started blackmailing her that we have these videos of you, which we are going to make it viral. So if you see there are so many such snakes happening across with women. Recently in Mumbai also, they told that lady that what you need to do is, now you need to go into a lodge, go into a hotel, check in. So she went into a lodge as such, and over there again, she was also made to strip. So a lot of these things are happening, and that's the reason when we say crimes against women, there are anyway the regular crimes are also so many against women, but the cyber crimes are also, I am seeing the pattern that it is rising against the women. So there are many more. There are lots of such to talk, Ronita. But right now, this digital arrest thing is something that where each and every woman needs to be like very careful about. That the moment you're getting such kind of calls, hang up. Don't even try to play around. Ki, okay, I'll be like really smart and all. I'm giving an example. One day, like when a call like that came to me, I put it on the speaker, and my own team of cybersecurity experts were listening to it. So that guy speaking to me rudely, I am this policeman, he's abusing me and all those kind of things. Later on, my team people, they come and tell me in my ears, sir, ये तो सच्ची का लग रहा है. Sir, actually आपके साथ हुआ होएगा ये. Sir, आपका number. And I told them, are you guys nuts? So if my own people, these are the cybersecurity people, can start believing into these, the sound, the way they are talking, the manner in which they are like shouting and abusing, if they can fall prey to it, why? What happens about the others?
So, what you're narrating to me, Ritesh, is giving me goosebumps. And I think that through, shows like the Snakes and Ladder Show or any other platform that's
Yes.
prevalent today, the need of the hour is to raise as much awareness and as much, I think, the message of not only women, but, our
Everyone,
citizens of
yeah.
our country to
Yeah.
be totally thoroughly aware of these kind of crimes that are getting perpetrated. And I think as a cybercrime expert can do as much unless we help
Absolutely.
ourselves.
Absolutely.
So my next question to you, Ritesh, and taking a cue from the stories that you have just told us about the cybercrime and the digital arrest, but let's look at the other side of the fact today, that we know there are whole lot of crimes that are also happening through other social media handles like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, etc. Now, according to you, what are some of the most prevalent crimes currently happening on these social media platforms, particularly targeting women?
So, particularly targeting women as such, I would say, see, yeah, now digital arrest has got nothing to do with the social media part of it, because that's like an IVR call or through a WhatsApp call you get it. But the investment scams, that is happening quite a lot. And I have seen that, generally when we say about investment, we think about like men and other kind of things, but today's woman, she is into finance, she is
Yes.
into investment, she is independent. And so the thing is, over here again, women are falling prey to it. Moreover, the women are also becoming independent. So what is also happening, like now when you want to put up a house on rent, here the woman is also taking charge, or she wants a house on rent, with a spouse or with a partner or all by herself also. She goes, she searches for it and everything. So a lot many, the ads that you're seeing, most of the ads are fake. Then the investment scams. I'm sorry, I just went a bit tangent to this. The investment scams. Just like day before yesterday, I got a call from a lady. So they are like, two very good friends they are. And then they just called up and they said there was this particular investment. We saw an ad on Instagram about it. Then we were added to a WhatsApp group where people were making so much of money. It was everything to do with mining. So they said the more they are going to mine, the more gold they'll get. Things like that. They were talking about it, and you can have a share in the
Share.
mining. So this is one form of it. The other is, of course, the stock broking one and all. So in the mining case, these two young ladies, they must be in their late 30s or something like that. They lost 1.25 crore rupees. In other WhatsApp, in other investment scams, like let's say today, you hear the stock market is booming, now it has reached like 82,000 points, and everybody is trying to put their money in it. Everybody wants to and make money. So what's happening is, people will try to first hack your accounts, the hackers. Now, because I've seen your Instagram channel, like, you got around about 72 to 75,000
Yes.
followers.
Yes.
So you are like a kind of a right target for them. Because now, if I somehow manage to hack into your Instagram account, what is going to happen over there? I'm going to be addressing 75,000
Yeah,
audience.
exactly.
That's the kind of audience you got. And now I will show, I bought a BMW, I made so much of money thanks to this particular app or thanks to this particular map. Now people, what has actually gone wrong? None of them are going to come and ask, hey Ronita, did you really make this kind of money? They will say, oh my god, this lady has made so much of money, so let me also invest into it. So your followers will now start investing into that particular thing. Think, believing that you actually invested a money into, let's say, the gold mining, or you actually invested money into some stock app or something like that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you made that money. Now they will also start putting in the money. And that is how they fall prey to it. So these ads which are there, wherever you see these promises being made, the money will be doubled, or the gold mining part of it, or into the stocks that I have made so much of money and all. Please don't trust anything that you see over there. Even in now, since you mentioned, okay, what are the other crimes, let's say, happening on WhatsApp? On WhatsApp, the other thing is, because you people don't put up the two-factor authentication, what's happening is your accounts are getting hacked. Now, I somehow try to hack your WhatsApp. Now, how is that happening? I have, let's say, managed to hack somebody's account. Let's say your account. I somehow. How did I do that? I told you, please share the OTP with me. Okay, please share your OTP with me, and you share your OTP. Now that you share your OTP, I have hacked into your WhatsApp account. Your two-step verification was not on.
Not all.
Had that been on, I wouldn't have been able to get into your account. So I have now hacked into, because you shared the OTP with me, and I will claim, hey, listen, I'm calling from WhatsApp. Something is happening, your WhatsApp is going to get banned or something. We are going to send you a code. Please share the WhatsApp code with us. Otherwise, your account will get banned. Now you will fall prey to that, because you're going to get worried. WhatsApp is like, it's like air, it's like water, it's like electricity. You need that 24 hours. You can't do without it. Now you're going to share that code with me. I got your code. I have your number. Now I install WhatsApp. What will people, and now I start messaging everyone in your groups, in your friends, in your contact list. They will get message from whom? They will say, oh yeah, it's from Ronita. What is Ronita now asking for? She's asking for money. Give me 10,000 rupees. I am stuck. Now, an amount like 5,000, 10,000 people don't call. They say, oh, there is an emergency. Let me try to help her out. Now they try to help you out as such. So they fall victim to it.
Well, this is absolutely mind-boggling, Ritesh. And I want to tell our audience who's watching the Snakes and Ladders show that this episode is giving you all the tips and techniques, especially our women audience over there, that in the world of, cyber crimes, these are the snakes that you really need to navigate very carefully. And I think on that note, Ritesh, I'm going to ask you the next question, which is very, very intriguing for me, that during the course of such crimes that's happening today, what behaviors or oversights make even the smartest users vulnerable to these digital snakes?
You use the word oversight. I'll tell you, it's not the oversight, it's the overconfidence that this can't happen to me. So, I want to tell people, when you're walking in the jungle, you don't have that kind of an overconfidence that, no, the snake will not bite me. But in the cyber world, I don't know why you have that overconfidence. I am too smart, I am educated, nothing will go wrong with me. That's not the case. We said, sabko dasega.
Yes.
The snake is going to bite everyone. So please don't have this attitude. When we did a kind of a research, I wrote an article. I was invited by Mumbai Mirror to write a guest article. And in that article, I said, the maximum cyber crimes have happened are with the youth, especially in their 30s and 40s. And again, which industry? IT and finance. Just see the irony of it.
Hard to believe as well.
Hard to believe.
Yes.
The IT people have, and the people from finance have lost the maximum money in cyber crimes. So this is that overconfidence that this can't happen to me. I'm way too smart. Read any of these articles where people have lost crores of rupees or lakhs of rupees. You will not find a watchman, a driver, or somebody working in a banya ki dukan losing this money, or somebody working in a mall. These are all highly educated people. Not that even they're ultra rich. They're highly educated people who have lost this money. Because today when a newspaper comes, you will skip the Firstly, you don't
Yes.
read the newspapers because newspapers don't come. But even when a news comes to you, you're more interested in the Bollywood masala. You're more interested in what is happening with others. But if it's a cybercrime story and a digital arrest, no, I don't want to read it. It can't happen with me. I'm not a fool. So this overconfidence is going to take us down.
And it's also about denying the reality.
Yes.
As you rightly said, that none of us are immune to it now. We have to face the reality. And I guess overconfidence was never the answer. It is awareness that is the key to any such situation. And, for the rising rate of crimes that we see in our country today or across the globe.
Across the globe, it's
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm sure you will like this particular question that I'm going to ask you, but we definitely want to know, Ritesh, what are the most venomous digital snakes women face today and why are they so pervasive?
So I would say it is sextortion. I really don't see it coming down, and I'm seeing it taking new forms, like just the way the snake shed its skin. These cyber criminal people, somewhere or the other, they bring the sextortion to it.
To it.
So let's say even the digital arrest case. What happened with that lady? With both the ladies, they made them strip.
Yes.
Okay, there would be some drugs. In fact, I have a relative when she didn't fall victim to it. But what did they tell her? You had gone to Mumbai. She's from Delhi. She said yes. You had gone to Mumbai. You stayed in a hotel. She said yes. Now, whether actually that was a fact, but did they really had that data or did they just bluff it out? I, of course, they just bluffed it out, but they said when you stayed in that hotel, there was a video of yours wherein you were changing your clothes and all, and that video is out.
Oh my God.
She was very scared. Of course, she hung up the phone and then she called me and I told her nothing like that has happened. Don't even think about it. Don't even bother about it. She was crying and crying and crying because that's how, these people, like, they somewhere or the other, they want to bring this nudity element into it. So whether this was the digital arrest or with this cousin of mine, sextortion remains the topmost thing. So what is really happening even in sextortion? Either they will bluff you out or they are going to just tell you, we've got your pictures. We have some very intimate this thing of you. Now you give us more pictures. Or you come on the video, you strip down. Otherwise, we are going to make this viral to the entire contact list. We are going to send it across over there. Or in the end, they say, give us this kind of money. So sextortion is still at its peak. And especially with AI coming into it, it's becoming even more easy to do such crimes.
Well, that's definitely another level of challenge I'm sure we're going to be facing very
Yes.
soon in future. And this is definitely worrisome. To the audience, I will once again urge that please remember, with the growing rate and the ratio of crimes that we see today in our life, it's always important to be cautious, to be wary, to be absolutely educated and sensitized about what's happening around you. Ritesh, I would like to know that what are the most common forms of cyber harassment faced by women today, besides the sextortion part that you spoke about? And is there a possibility that you can recognize the early signs of it?
So, when we talk about cyber harassment as such, I see women facing two kinds of harassment. One is the sextortion that I've told you about. The other is trolling.
Ask me. I have. So yes, I definitely agree to that.
Yeah, and now that you are having a women elevation show, and recently somebody also took his life, so now people will say, what happens about the men's elevation
Yes,
about it?
I know, and that's debatable.
That's very
because,
debatable. That's
yeah,
extremely
yeah.
debatable as such. But then, of course, I also see the kind of harassment women going through. What men go through is very, very less as such. But when it comes to sextortion. Not that the sextortion is not happening with the men. There was a particular phase wherein, like, there were these fake accounts and they were women, and then they would just chat with the men and they would tell the men, okay, do you want to do like a live video call? And the man would say yes, and there a pre-recorded woman would come online and she would like undress herself, and then she would give a message to the man also, please you also like show me your private parts. He would do that, and now the sextortion would start with the man. So this is still happening with the men also, but it's also happening a lot with the women also, with a lot of. So the sextortion continues, but in terms of harassment, trolling is the next thing. And the moment the woman is trying to say something, like right now also trolling is at its peak. Why? Because as I told you, the person committed suicide, and there are some women who are saying, listen, we understand while this one man has lost his life, there are so many other women also who are like being harassed, and their life has gone as such. So then the men start now trolling, and especially when it comes to the journalist or anybody trying to take any one side
of it. Yes,
they're just being. So this harassment is there quite a lot, and especially then there are these girls who are doing a lot of like get ready with me. They are also like but I somehow feel even the get ready with me thing, the trend is growing. But these girls, for the sake of influencer, for the sake of likes, and coming into the stage of becoming an influencer, or having more users, is also creating a lot of problem.
So, Ritesh, I completely resonate with what you said. And on that note, I want to bring your attention to the fact that today, since social media has made it so accessible for people to gain the instant name and fame, I believe that, the image that you're portraying on social media definitely defines that, as you said at the beginning, that if I have an open profile and I have an official profile which is accessible to public, okay, there could be chances of that profile being misused.
Absolutely.
Okay, and I have come across a lot of public profiles, again, of women, as you talk about, maybe Get Ready With Me, or, women who try to portray, the so-called bold, prototype of this, doing a lot of skin show, or kind of, making content which may not be appropriate for, the larger audience, and could be something which is not even relevant. So my question to you is, Ritesh, that do you think that the social media image is, or rather defining us in the cybercrime world, where we could be more vulnerable to such kind of, crimes or such kind of cases?
Yes, absolutely. So, once there was a particular challenge called as the Bikini Challenge that happened. What was the whole idea of it actually? You wanted to just like show, okay, like, I have a bikini body, and everybody started putting a hashtag Bikini Challenge. But in fact, Ronita, why did that come up? Because at that point of time, a very powerful thing was getting developed. That powerful thing wanted to see, am I able to remove clothes from women's body? So they said, for this we need lot many images of women in bikinis. So they came up with this particular challenge. How everybody started putting up their pictures, and there was a hashtag Bikini Challenge. Now the other ladies who didn't even have a bikini body, they said, listen, there is nothing like a bikini body or a bikini thing.
Yeah.
Why can't even I put up more? And they were right about it, They also started putting up the picture. None of these ladies, none of the people realized that this was the fodder to that thing that was getting developed. And that thing today is popularly called as artificial intelligence. With that AI, okay, came the negative part of the AI. and that was deep nudes. So what does deep nude do? You have this picture. AI will now try to remove whatever clothes is there on the body. So it started with the bikini challenge. It said, let me see, am I able to remove or not? So we had deep nude version 1, wherein it was able to remove those clothes and completely, what is the term that is called as, let's nudify the women. And it started removing all those clothes, and what you would get is the nude image of the girl. It was still a little distorted and not perfect. Then came deep nude version 2.0. It started becoming better, na? Because the users were giving feedback that no, this is not accurate. This is not really the complete body. There could be variations in terms of size, color, whatever it was. Earlier, this thing was called as morphing. What were we doing at that point of time? You take the face of a lady,
Yes.
put it on a nude image of the other person.
Exactly.
But you could make it out that this has been morphed because of the skin color variation, or maybe this particular person is standing on the beach and the one behind the head is showing something else. So there was always a mismatch.
Mm-hmm.
And when the editors tried to even kind of balance it out or perfect, make it look same, people were able to make it out, no, this is like morphed. But now with this deep nudes, you just upload a picture. Suppose if it's a particular person sitting like this, and specifically women, till date, deep nudes is meant for women only. It is not able to nudify men. So if the woman is sitting like this, it's a complete blue background and same like this, just put up a picture. Within 7 seconds, it will make this particular person nude. So now if this person is with lot many clothes and all, it makes it very difficult. But if it is with lesser clothes, you will get more perfect picture. So deep nudes is the biggest cyber weapon against women, I can say. As of now, it is being used. It is being used by a lot many people to harass women, to intimidate them. A lot many young girls are becoming victims to it. It is publicly available. So the point I'm trying to make over here is, whenever you start putting up these pictures, please understand, what are you doing? You are actually giving fodder to these big tech giants. They are using these pictures of yours. On the internet, you are just a product. And you are being used, you are being misused. After the bikini challenge came the sari challenge.
Yes.
Why did the sari challenge come up? Because the AI was so successful in removing such the clothes. It now wanted to see whether am I able to remove the saris also altogether and make the women look completely nude. It worked. So are we now going to blame AI? Are we going to blame ourselves? We don't know about it. There's nothing right or wrong in this particular case.
Completely agree, Ritesh.
But when women are but then when you are this oversharing that we have now, whether it is in terms of content, in terms of images, in terms of videos, that is going to backfire someday or the other. There are personalities, we understand that they keep putting it up. But if you're just not a personality, you're just doing this to garner more likes, to garner more followers, then you definitely are at the risk of this deep nude. But more than the deep nude, I'm worried about the deep fake videos.
That we've recently seen a spate of that, the deepfake videos. Yes.
But more than deep news, I'm concerned about the deepfake videos. We saw during the election time also. So deepfakes have become, whether it was a US election or the Indian election, deepfake videos are being used a lot. But now there are websites dedicated to and they are called as the deepfake websites. What's happening over there? They will just, do you know how it is working now? You just have to give an Instagram username handle. You have a particular handle. Now they see the profile of the women out over there. Okay, for this particular woman, we have the front profile, we have the back profile, we have the side profile. She's wearing very less clothes and everything. She's the perfect target. You just pick up all that. All you have done is just given the username over there. And the profile has to be public profile. It will pick up everything. It will create a complete fake video of the woman over there.
Well, I mean, this is so terrifying, Ritesh, and I think those of the women audience who are watching us today, there is so much to think about, to reflect, and understand that what is it that you want to share on social media and what you should completely steer clear of sharing. I'm scared now because, I do keep publishing content, but I think this has given me some thoughts and more reflections on what I should completely avoid. And I completely agree with you that in this age that we are here today, oversharing will never help.
It is never going to help you.
Okay, so Ritesh, taking again a leap from what you just now told us about, with the rise of AI, because we've just brought up the topic of AI now, what types of crimes could this technology be weaponized for, particularly against women? And you did tell us about,
I've just told you about the deep news.
pornography.
Yes. So deep news is my biggest concern right now, and I'm going to see a lot of that particularly happening. It's already happening. We in any case get a lot many complaints. Many children come to us, and they're like, they must be in their college or in their school, and that they'll say, sir, somebody's done this, and that's how, again, what is the result of it? I mean, what is the intention of it? The intent is only and only to do sextortion with the girls. So and it is so realistic, Ronita, I'll tell you, it is so realistic that if today somebody has to see it, they'll say, boss, this is you who's nude. Even the parents, the spouse or whoever, you won't be able to differentiate. There are, of course, tools which will be able to tell you that. But the parents, the spouse or whoever, the brothers, sisters, the family people, they are not aware about such tools.
Yes.
At that point of time, they'll say, okay, listen, this is you. So deep news is my biggest concern. Deepfake is a bigger concern. You name the Indian celebrity and her deepfake video is there online.
And I think if this is happening to celebs,
Yeah.
openly today, people who are just, let's say mere citizens of the country, or, they're probably in other industry or other professions, we are also not, very safe from this particular, darker world that we are talking about here today.
Absolutely. And Ronita, I'll tell you, back in 2014, there was this girl from Salem in Tamil Nadu. Somebody had just morphed her picture. So, she's brown skin. It was her face put on a white body. And that body was not nude. It was in a bikini. The entire village came to know about it. The youngsters started like teasing her and all. But then, of course, they also knew that this has been morphed. What happened at that point of time? The parents became so embarrassed. They told her, this is you only. So she said, look at my skin. This is brown skin. They said, we don't care about it. The parents were shocked at that point of time. This girl, Venupriya, committed suicide. In the letter, I have that letter, means it's there on the web. Her last line was, for once, if you could have believed in me. You just didn't believe me. Now I have to take my life. And she committed suicide. Here the parents could make it out. This is brown skin, this is white skin. Maybe they don't know about morphing, but they could have said, ye sahi nahi hai. What will happen when the deep nudes will come?
I can't even imagine the kind of mental trauma,
Exactly.
the kind of anguish it is going to give rise to.
And that's the reason whenever you are going to see something like this, please look at with complete distrust. Right now we are in an era, and I always tell people, don't believe whatever you see, whatever you hear, and whatever you read. Just don't believe.
That's a great, learning lesson, I think, Ritesh, for all of us. Not only, it doesn't matter, we are talking about the social media part here or the cybercrime, but I think that is the realistic part that we all need to understand and also, adapt to. Now, Ritesh, I'm going to move to this topic, which I think is one of your favorite because you talk about data breach. So, data breaches are becoming very common, very common.
Yeah.
Yet, they're often ignored in terms of their impact on women that
Yes.
we have seen.
Yes.
And I want to ask you that how do these breaches specifically affect women, and what are some of the most serious consequences they face when their personal data is compromised?
So, firstly, whenever a breach happens, please don't hold yourself responsible. This is the responsibility of the organization, and because they were careless about it, or I would say, even nowadays, the technologies become such that using AI and all, cyber criminals are like using it to their advantage. So, it's easy to breach companies now. By the time the companies go and adopt AI, the cyber criminals have already adopted AI. So hence it's very easy to target companies and take the data. Now with this kind of ease, what is happening? A lot many people are now, getting into cyber crimes. There is easy money. You remain anonymous as such. So now you want to target. Now, when we say about a breach related to a woman, let me tell you, many times when even I have spoken to people, they say, so what? Like, I'm there on Instagram. My name is on their Instagram. Email ID, big deal. I say, what about the mobile number? They say, I'm okay with it. It's fine if my mobile number. But then aren't you seeing the kind of harassment you get? Like it could be loans or whatever.
Yeah.
But ask the younger girls. They keep getting so many calls because what happens is then with these breaches, suppose if I have got a name and an email, now another breach happens. I just have to map it. Okay, for this particular name and email, get me the phone number of the girl. Now you start getting the phone number of the girl. Now you start stalking that particular person. You harass that particular person. So harassment and all is all one side. But there is a very darker side to it. And one particular breach I would want to talk about, in an audience of women, I was saying like, okay, look, your name is here, your email ID is here, your phone number is here. I said, does this worry you? They said, no, it doesn't worry us. I said, okay, what, I told a young lady, what if I just send a bouquet of flowers at your home and I say, oh, I love you, sweetheart, I miss you. She says, okay, my husband believes in me and all. So what, even the physical address is available. I said, fair enough. Then I moved to the other columns. Because these ladies, they said, they are not scared of their name, mobile number, physical address and email being breached. I showed them the other number. I said, it shows purple color. I said, it shows is padded. Its size is 32B. This is the day you made the payment. And this is how you made the payment. So I was showing them a breach of a lingerie website.
That is traumatic.
So imagine now somebody has to call up the woman and say, now there are two ways now you can harass that particular woman or those thousands of women. Number one, I say, madam, you had bought this particular thing one day. You'll say yes. Okay, ma'am, it's a lucky draw and you won some 5 lakh rupees.
Yeah.
For that, you'll just have to pay a registration fee and all. Now, this person is talking with so much of confidence that even you're believing it because you actually bought that product.
Absolutely.
He's using the name of the product. He's using the color, the size, everything. So, and he's using the order ID also because you actually bought it. But this thing got breached, the lingerie. From the lingerie website. So you say yes. So now you go and make the payment. And later on you come to know that, okay, you made a payment of 10,000, then you made a payment of 20,000 because they are showing that you won a gift worth 10 lakh rupees. You say, no, I don't, they give you a choice whether you want an SUV or whether you want cash. So you will say, oh, I want cash. They'll say, okay, you have to pay 30% of deduction on this. You have to pay some 18% GST. So that way you start like losing a lot of money. So they have fooled you.
Yes.
This is one thing. But the other thing, isn't this the color you bought? Isn't this? How's the size? How's the fit? Can you send me a picture of it? And now they start stalking you. So from this data, from this one data breach, you already got so much of data. Now from another data breach, We have your other details also. From your open profile, I have a lot many pictures of you also. Just imagine if I combine all these silos, the data in all these silos, what all kind of harassment and crimes I can do against you.
Which is, I think, unimaginable. Because,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But so that's the reason here is the request even to the companies that, whenever you're handling such kind of data, treat it as a very, very sensitive data.
Absolutely. I
Not just
couldn't
of
agree
children,
more.
even of women.
Absolutely. And I think here the brands have to be extremely responsible. And all the data
Absolutely.
breaches that has happened, that we've seen, those
Yes.
cases have been
Yes.
only because they were not responsible with their part.
And the least the brands can do is they should like you remember I was just hearing you we were on the same panel
Yes,
of incident
the
response,
cyber
and you
incident
said it's so important that the brands reach out to the customers and inform them.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to hear from these same brands that, listen, Ronita, we are sorry about this, but this has got breached, there are chances something like this can happen to you, we just request you to be careful about it and
Absolutely.
don't become a victim to it.
That would make life so much easier for
Exactly.
women victims.
For women victims.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, I think this conversation is really getting very interesting. And Ritesh, there's so much that you're sharing today. I'm sure the audience who's going to watch this episode, they will get a whole lot of, I would say, knowledge and awareness about the topic that we are discussing, which I feel definitely is a prerequisite for the women elevation movement that we are on. So
Thanks.
now I come to another sensitive part of it, Ritesh, and I would not want to keep children out of this purview.
Yeah,
because
yes.
with children increasingly spending more time online, what are some of the most common cybercrimes targeting young users? And how can parents, let's say, or guardians and educators protect them from those kind of dangers?
Yeah, there are several crimes happening against them. Again, with them, bullying is the biggest. But I want to touch upon something that's bigger. Okay, up till now also I've been just talking about the darker ones, and I would want to, generally I would want to stick to the darker crimes only. People always tell me one thing, that have you come to scare us? I say yes, because that's the reality. See, if you
Yes.
don't know about all these things, you might never be able to protect. I don't want to talk to you about those OTP frauds and small things and all. Look at the bigger things which can actually tear you apart and bring you down psychologically or financially, wherein you lose so much of crores of rupees. So even for children, Ronita, more than bullying, I would say it is the grooming, and I'm really concerned about that. There's something called as online grooming. What happens over here? Firstly, the parents are also quite disconnected with their children because they are on their own mobiles. The child is in its own digital world. Children also face a lot many cyber crimes, and especially bullying is large. But I'm not going to talk about bullying. I will touch with something that's deeper and darker, and mostly parents are not even aware about it, and that's called as online grooming. So I'll narrate this with a case study. So one day I had got a call from a lady, and this girl was around about, I think, 13-year-old or 14-year-old and all. And what had happened that she had just created a profile on Instagram, and with just one picture, and somebody said you're looking very sweet, nothing beyond that. That particular person started talking to her, and they kept on speaking for almost round about a month. He would help her in the studies, he would help her with the looks, he would tell her how to speak respectfully to people, like a kind of a mentor.
Yeah.
This person had actually groomed her. So that's why we call as online grooming. Now you may say, what's negative about it? He gained so much of trust of her that he made her go to the bathroom one day and he told her, I want to see you have bath. So this girl had removed all her clothes. He actually did something what we call as cyber sex, which means the other person is performing sex, kind of like what we would say as masturbating or things like that. So he made that girl touch her her own private parts and things like that. And later on, it was like, the parents discovered that she was doing something like this. And when the victim's sister called us, the victim's sister also told that the sister is now in pain because she had never done something like this. And I'm not talking about the emotional pain.
Yes.
It was the physical pain that she's into. And they had to take her to the doctor. And later on, we figured out that this particular person was a 30-year-old man who was grooming this 13-year-old girl. So this online grooming is quite a lot. It's happening quite a lot with the children as such, and even parents don't come to know about it. And the kind of impact it leaves upon this children
Yes.
is crazy. And it's just not the grooming. This grooming then later on turns out into sextortion. It turns out into human trafficking also. These young kids start idealizing the person so much that they are ready to do
Anything that they
anything.
want.
So they are ready to undress themselves. They are ready to, even leave their parents. There have been so many who've been actually caught on the railway stations by the police and all, because these people were ready to follow them anywhere and everywhere.
My God.
So this is something that really concerns me, and that's the reason parents need to have open conversations on the dinner tables with them. You don't have to go and spy onto your child's device. There are many people who call me, parents, that no, we want to know what children are doing. I won't be surprised after listening to this talk show. Parents will come to me and
Yes,
tell me,
of
we want
course.
to know what the kids are doing and all. Sorry, I'm not going to get into that, because we also need to respect their privacy as such. We need to understand, why is this happening. This is happening maybe because you're not really having healthy conversations with their children. Maybe you're full time after them, that you are full time on your mobile and this, but what are you also doing? So you are on your devices all the time. The child has nothing else to do. The child is going to be on their devices all the time. So now you can't say, okay, please give me your device, or you can't be on the device. I think you need to walk the talk. I think you need to really practice what you want to preach. And on the dinner tables, the best way is that, you can tell the child, listen, we came to know about something like this. There is something like digital arrest. There is something like online grooming. Talk to them. There is harassment happening. Talk to them openly. Don't tell them, is this happening with you? Are you being, no, just tell them, hey, I read about this. Something has happened like that. Make them aware.
Absolutely.
So that tomorrow, if somebody is trying and approaching them, they know, hey, listen, this sounds like online grooming. So I think such dinner table conversations are very, very important.
And I think, Ritesh, going with what you said, let's understand children are having, impressionable minds. They're vulnerable.
Yes.
Today, if, part of modern parenting also means that we deal with this in a smarter manner, in a more logical manner, and a more
Yes.
rational manner, instead of judging our own children or kind of, punishing them for something that they may be completely unaware that's happening to them. But thank you for drawing our attention to something which may sound and definitely is gruesome, but parents must know about it. And so should,
Absolutely.
the younger boys and girls of our country today. They must be aware. School going children must be aware of this, and teachers and educators definitely must be.
Absolutely.
Okay, so thank you, Ritesh, for giving us so many insights. But I'll move now to the last question of this next segment. And my question to you is that the term cyber slavery, it sounds terrifying, okay? So can you shed light on what does it actually means, and how is it impacting women specifically?
So, when I think everybody is taking the term cyber slavery to be like something as if you're becoming the digital slave of your gadgets. No. Here I am referring to a very, very heinous crime, and I don't think so people are aware about what this term is. Cyber slavery is literally physically kidnapping you, taking you to a particular country and to a particular place which you're not even known about, and over there they are making you do all these crimes about that. I told you about the WhatsApp investment scams and all such crimes, sextortion, pig butchering. I think even you haven't heard about these
Absolutely.
terms.
Never,
Yeah.
never. Yes.
So this is what is cyber slavery. Let me tell you. Let's say you will be given a job offer, that there is there is some data entry job, or there is something, some kind of a BPO or a call center which is in the foreign land, and they will say it is there in Thailand, or this is going to happen somewhere in Singapore or somewhere like that. They'll help you with the visa, they'll help you with the passports and everything. Now they take you to the country, let's say Thailand, for example.
And you're physically actually going to
You're,
the
you're
country.
going to Thailand because you're
Okay.
going for a job.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think you got a job in the in an international company. So now you go over there. Once you reach that particular country, they are taking away your passport, and they are saying that now we are going to take you to this particular place.
My
Now they'll take you into the canoes. They will take you through the waters, through a boat or something. No, you thought you were in Thailand, but now you have reached a particular country. It could be Vietnam, it could be, mostly it is Cambodia, or it is Laos, and you're locked with 10, 20, 30 other people in a very small room, wherein all you people are like, let's say, of one gender only. So this can happen to men. It is also happening to women.
Women.
So you've gone over there to take up a job. Okay? And now they have taken up your passports. Now you're given a smartphone. Since you're a woman, you're going to create a profile, and now you're going to start talking to men. Hey, how are you, handsome? Hey, sweetheart, you look so good, and other kind of things. You're given targets. You have to honey trap men.
That's the job and the reality of
Yes.
cyber slavery. Okay.
Yes, you have to honey trap the men. Now, once you have honey trapped, now you're supposed to now take them, make them do investments. Ki, why don't you invest in this Bitcoin? Why don't you make investment in this stock? Why don't you download this particular app? You start doing that. You have certain targets that you have to make him invest 1 crore, 5 crores, 10 crores. If you're not able to do that, they don't give you food. They will speak rudely to you. They will strip you naked. They will make you sleep naked in the chilling weather, or maybe in the extremely hot weather. They will start doing things with this.
So physical torture.
And then there
mental
is physical torture. You can't run out. There are no doors, no windows. You can't shout for help. You can't cry for help. And there have been so many men and women who've been like kidnapped like this.
My goodness. I mean, this really sounds straight out of a movie, of something which is beyond our understanding, Ritesh. But
Yes.
if this is what is happening today, it's very, very alarming.
It is alarming. So as of now, I know from India alone, round about 30 to 40,000 people have been kidnapped. The government is trying its best to rescue. Last time, some 3,000 or 4,000 people were rescued. They were brought back to India, but still 20,000 plus people are still kidnapped, and they are the cyber slaves.
Do you think we are doing enough to kind of
No.
arrest this crime?
No.
And what do you think
No.
we should do? What should our government do, more and beyond this?
I think they need to talk more about it. Had they been speaking more about it, even you would have been aware about it. But were you aware about
I
this
wasn't,
thing?
and this is the first
That's
time
it.
I'm actually,
Yes.
understanding a lot more about
Yeah,
what cyber slavery
and why
is.
would we say ki okay? Because I'll tell you, the other day my son my son is in his second year of MBBS. He told me, Dad, I'm getting this. There is this student exchange program, but I'm getting it in Malaysia. I said, I'm not sending you. Because it's not about ki okay, some people who are of the lower class or are of a particular community, or it is for low level jobs. No, if he has to go alone, he can be just kidnapped from there. So people, if we've been hearing a lot of people going on tourist visas to Thailand, to Vietnam, and to all these countries. Please be very careful about it. If you're going for tourism also, be together. If you just go, you say, I want to go on a solo trip and all, I won't be surprised that if you just like kidnapped, because so many people have been kidnapped. Go and just Google about it. You will hear a lot many people who've been like kidnapped, and they've been from well-to-do families also.
Well, Ritesh, thank you for throwing light on such, real-time cases that we were not aware about, and I'm sure the audience who's going to be listening to this episode, they will have a whole lot of, awareness and knowledge about what exactly is happening. So that was the snake segment of our Snakes and Ladders show. We will now move on to the ladder segment, where we are really anticipating and waiting to hear from you, Ritesh. What are the preventive measures that we can adapt and what we can talk about today?
Yes, now we are going to talk a lot more about what to do, how to do, what are the things to keep yourself safe. And that's the only way you will be able to get वो बोल रहे थे ना हम लोग शुरू में ये सबको डसेगा. So this will be the way I am going to help you out, know certain things so that you don't get bitten by these snakes.
Great. We now move to the ladder segment of our Snakes and Ladders show. And my next set of questions for Ritesh will be about the ladders, about the preventive measures, Ritesh. And I would like to begin by asking you that since we spoke about sextortion in the first segment, it is a growing concern. What can women do to prevent it, number one? And what should someone do if they find themselves a victim of such a crime?
So as far as sextortion is concerned, there is one thing about prevention. What is happening is, especially with the newer generation and many other people, I'm seeing there is a kind of a fad or something to record your intimate moments. Yeah, that's very common. In fact, 10 years back also, I had my first case of sextortion. Not even 10, I would say 15 years back. Mm-hmm. It was about this only that, they said, the couple told me, yeah, we had gone and, we just captured our intimate moments. There is a famous condom company. In fact, they even created an ad on this, that, they came up with something called as shut the phone up. At this particular point of time, just enjoy your intimate moments. Please don't record it. So sextortion majorly happens when we are ourselves also consenting to it. And it has happened several times, especially in the dating websites. They will say, okay, let's get to know each other. And then they think, okay, you're just just two of us. I remember a case of a girl wherein she was speaking to another girl and she just said, why don't we just chat? Why don't we just show each other our body? And later on, it was not the girl. It actually turned out to be a boy and who was starting to sextort her. So the thing is, you just can't believe who's on the other side of the screen. So one is, please, don't record or don't even share your intimate moments. We have seen that majorly happening whenever there are victims coming to us. We've tried to ask them what really went wrong. And when relationships go sour, that is the time this sextortion turns up into something called as revenge pornography.
Yes. We have heard about it very often.
So what is revenge pornography? Today, you're in relation with somebody, you have shared intimate moments with each other, shared your nudes, which is very common, shared the nude photographs, nude videos, because you're in a distant, even if you're not in a distant relationship, you're in the same city also, you're so much into the digital world that you say, oh, I want to see you. And then, you just pressurize the woman to send the pictures. She sends the pictures. And now, it will be termed as sextortion when you start saying, I need more pictures of yours. And now it's not more about the love. It is more about, I need more images of yours. And now when you start saying no, and it turns into a breakup, now it turns into a revenge pornography. You just go and start uploading it somewhere. You start sending it across. So from prevention point of view, I would say this only. Please don't share any such kind of things. Don't even take such pictures and keep it on your device. Because if you think only you have access to the gallery, sorry, go to your settings of your phone, go get into permissions and just see gallery access. you will come to know there are at least like 30-40 apps that have got access to your gallery.
Galleries.
Which means they also have access to those intimate pictures of yours. To answer the second question of yours, that in case if you become, if you are a victim of a sextortion, what do you do? We have the portal, the National Cybercrime Reporting Portal, which is of Ministry of Home Affairs. So www.cybercrime.gov.in. There is a section specifically for women and children. Go to that particular section and don't report anonymously. Have that courage to to tell to the government that this is something that's happened with me. I need help. The police officer, the lady police person will call you, tell her that this is what is happening to me, and take action. It's extremely important to take action.
So I think, ladies, you're listening. There are two very important key takeaways from this particular answer that Ritesh just gave. First of all, you need to be courageous, you need to be resilient, you just can't give it up, and neither should you cower away from, voicing out when this happens to you. And also the intermediate course is to know that where should you lodge the complaint should this kind of crime happen to you. So thank you, Ritesh, for throwing light on that. With that, I will now move on to the next query that I have for you, that in today's world of increasingly sophisticated cyber attacks, that's what we are seeing now, are strong passwords enough to keep our online accounts secure, or do we need additional layers of protection?
Only passwords, whether they are strong or long or with this 14 character, it doesn't matter at all. One data breach and the passwords are out, right? So how it is going to help you as such? Today, if I'm able to log into your account, you have not even shared the password with me because it's there in the data breach. So I'm able to log into it. What can prevent this is the multi-factor authentication or the two-factor authentication. So for every important platform that you're using or app you're using, whether it's WhatsApp, whether it is Instagram, your Gmail, your company email, the second factor authentication, I think these platforms should make it compulsory. If they are not making it compulsory, at least you ensure that you have it. So for example, on the WhatsApp, I told you it's a very simple modus operandi. I'll just call you and say I'm calling from WhatsApp, and we are going to block it because you've sent some kind of extra number of messages or something like that. Share the code with me. You will share that code with me. I hacked into your WhatsApp. But if you have the two-step verification on, which is there in WhatsApp, and then I'll say, okay, I need the two-step verification also. That second thing also gives you a moment to think, why is he asking for this? Maybe this is a fraud. And if you don't share that with me, I won't be able to install your WhatsApp. So the same thing goes for your Instagram. So many people lose their Instagram accounts. Why? Because they'll say there is a copyright violation, click on this. They go click over there, they get scared, they put their username, they put their password, and their Instagram is gone. But if there was a two-step verification, a two-factor authentication, you wouldn't be losing this. So whether it is WhatsApp, it is Facebook, it is your Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter account, all this, emails, everything, you need to have a two-step verification. It's like the double door. Like in all our houses, most of the houses, we have the double door system. We open one door and then we say, okay, who are you? What is it like? So that's like an additional security. So we need that.
I shall certainly adopt it from today itself, Ritesh. Definitely security first, safety first, and then the rest of the world comes. Okay, now my inquisitiveness leads me to ask you something related to the shopping scams, which are very, very prevalent. We spoke about it also earlier. But what are some of the most common shopping related scams that, we women should be able to protect ourselves from falling victim to them?
Okay, so here I'll tell you, number one, there are many fake ads appearing on Instagrams and Facebooks. So of course Instagram is also responsible for this. Facebook is responsible because they should understand that these are the fake ads. Now that you have AI and everything, they need to work harder on this as such. Not that they are not doing it, they're doing it, but still the criminals keep coming. So please, anything, you see great offers, okay, this is available only for 300 rupees and other kind of things. please don't believe into that. So second, always try to shop from well-known websites. Like when I say well-known, it could be Amazon, Flipkart, the likes of these.
Yeah.
Because you really don't know. Some other website is showing 70% discount, but you're not getting it. But the moment you put your credit card and all details over there, and that's it. It's a fake website. So take care of those things. Don't if something is too good to be true.
Yeah. So just for few dollars less,
Yeah,
or
for a few
INR
rupees
less.
less, and just don't fall. Other thing is like you have a lot of stuff which you want to sell on second hand, which you just want
Yeah.
to dispose of. So you would want to put
The
it up on
OLX.
and other kind of. No sooner you will put your, let's say, sofa on OLX, you'll immediately receive a call that I'm ready to buy this. I'm going to pay you, okay, whatever money you ask, let's say 8,000 rupees. They'll say, I'm sending you the QR code. Just scan the QR code and you will get the money. We need to understand, when you scan the QR code, your money goes away. It never comes inside.
Okay.
So never. So they'll say, no, I'm from the army and this and that. Believe me, trust me and all. And we in our patriotism and other kind of things, we will like go till that extent, and we may even scan that particular code. So let's, just don't be foolish enough. Remember, the QR code is a very simple thing is, in order to receive money, you don't have to do anything. It automatically comes to you, right?
Okay.
And if you have to pay, that is the only time when you scan this thing. So there are things like these. Then there's also rent, the rental thing. Let's say you want to put your house on rent. You just put it up on some website, and now people will start calling you. Oh, I'm ready to, let's go ahead with this. They will not negotiate, will not ask you any further questions. They'll say, okay, we are making the payment to you. And again, the same thing. They'll send you the QR code. You may want to scan it, and your money will go away, because that 1 month's rent will go away. Then they'll say, oh, sorry, I sent you the wrong QR code. Now I'm sending you another one. This will definitely give you the money back.
Okay.
You again now trust that particular person. So earlier, let's say you lost 60,000 rupees. Now he's sending you a QR code of 1,20,000. He says, oh, the earlier 60 which I took by mistake, I'm returning you. Plus I'm paying you my 60 also. So now you scan it, you lose 120 now. So 60 you lost earlier, 120, 1.8 lakhs is gone like that. So, these guys keep coming with many such kind of tricks. And now for women who are doing some work, like at a professional, let's say you're baking cakes, or you're a counselor, or you're into a makeup and all, they will call you that we want to give you a bulk order. And, for that you have to give and we will be paying you this kind of amount. Again, we are from the defense forces and other kind of things. Either they will take certain products from you if they can resell. Of course, they are not going to go after the cakes and all. They don't want to resell that. Otherwise, the same QR code thing. I fail to understand, it's been so many years, the QR code scams are still happening. So, these are the kind of things that are happening. Again, I would say, don't believe whatever you see, hear or read.
So the key element is, please don't trust so easily.
Nothing.
Be extremely cautious. Be double, cautious if required, and only then,
Absolutely.
do the needful. But of course, again, an important source of information for us, Ritesh.
Yes.
Now, my next question is that what steps should women take to protect their personal data from being exposed during a data breach? Is there a possibility?
So see, Ronita, the data is already breached. There is nothing that now the woman can do. Only thing is that, okay, she needs to be like very careful about it. That, okay, like, her name, number, email ID, and from what website it has gone. So chances are that you will be calling, you will be getting a call from that particular, he trying to say, okay, I am calling from this particular company, and you won a prize or something like that, what we discussed earlier. So she just needs to be careful about that. Like, for example, recently the government announced that we are going to come up with PAN 2.0. The day they announced, from next day, people have been like getting calls. There are already fake websites that, okay, we are calling from the government of India. We are calling from the PAN Department of Income Tax. Now we are going to upgrade your card. You must have heard about it, to PAN 2.0. For this, you need to do these things. So whenever a breach also happens now, things like these will happen, that you're going to get certain kind of calls uh, claiming to be from that company, and so you just need to be careful about it.
So, my next question to you, Ritesh, in the ladder segment is, which definitely intrigues me, and I really want to know that how much of the responsibility lies on women to safeguard their digital presence?
Well, I think is not about women or men. It is about everybody to safeguard their personal data, and have a very good hygiene as such. So I'm particularly, like, I generally tell people that don't post too much, like, because that is, again, as I told you, it's not it's the fodder for the big tech companies. It's the fodder for the AI, and you're just making a product. You're just becoming a product. Ki, okay, and that's how a lot of profiling is done about you. Ki, okay, this particular, why do you think you get certain kind of ads only? Why do you think you get certain kind of content only, whether it's on Instagram or it is on anything?
Yeah.
Because you're being profiled quite a lot.
True, true.
So I think this oversharing which is there now, this really needs to come down. So it is not just about the digital detox. I would say this is more of the data detox. So share less, and also be very mindful about, like, I wouldn't want you to put a lot many children related pictures. You must have seen many people putting, like, smileys on the faces of the child. They really don't want to expose them also. So avoid putting pictures of children, because I know, like, the kind of pedophiles that exist on the dark web, they are, like, actually scouting through all these kind of pictures. And this, you never know what it can lead to.
And I think one of the latest fad we see that parents
Huh.
blatantly displaying pictures of their children.
Yes, I think the parents, they don't realize that, when the children will grow older, they may really take an objection to it, that who asked you for this concept of consent is
Yeah.
just completely missing. So parents also need to be extremely mindful. Don't share, it's just not appropriate that your child wants something and you just want to put it up, and just this kind of total show off and everything that's happening. I wouldn't just want to call it a show off as a, but it can lead to something like really bad. We've already seen, we know a lot about human trafficking and online grooming also, and all such kind of things. It will lead to online grooming also, because the other guy knows so much about you and the child.
Right.
So be very careful about it.
Now that we are talking about, a lot more technical in terms of safeguarding and preventive measures, please let me know, and I think the audience also would like to know, Ritesh, how can women use privacy settings on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp to better safeguard their information?
Ronita, I think these are the two sections we always ignore for every app. One is the security settings and one is the privacy settings. So privacy is utmost importance, because I'll tell you, like, for example, in WhatsApp, what all things you can do. Your display picture will be visible only if you have saved the other person as a contact. Now there's a setting for that. We generally don't enable it. Ideally, this should be by default. That's why we say privacy by design and default, security by design and default. So by default, the other person shouldn't be able to see my profile picture.
Pictures.
That person should be able to see only when I have saved him as a contact. Now, many of us, and especially women, you don't do that. Okay? So, what it is, like, your profile picture is visible to the world. Even if you have not saved that particular person as a contact, he's able to see that. He's able to see your status and all those updates. That's why we've seen a whole lot of crimes happening with these women, especially flashing. That's very common, that happens with women. They see your profile pictures, then they will send you videos of these guys flashing their private parts. And you know what you are going to do? You're just going to go and block it. No, complain, take action. So go to each and every platform, whether it is WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, look at the privacy settings, understand each and every setting over there, what it means, how it can
True.
secure you, and just do it. It wouldn't take more than 2 to 3 minutes. But do this, and you will be saving yourself from some unnecessarily trouble.
My next technical ask is about smartphones, and smartphones are an essential part of our daily lives today. But with so much of personal data stored on them, how can we effectively safeguard our information that is on our smart device?
So, Ronita, as far as the our devices are concerned, the basic securities we all know about it, right? Like you're going to put up a face recognition or a fingerprint recognition as such over there. But what is most important is locking your gallery and WhatsApp also. Like, I'm sure you're not going to be comfortable, like if I have to ask you for your phone and say okay, and I just start reading all your messages, right?
Yes.
You're not going to be happy about it. You're not going to be happy about it if I have to see your gallery as kind of things. So in the phones there are these features, we can call it as like an app vault or an app lock, whatever you want to name it, wherein uh, when you start these apps, again you have to put a code or something like that, then only it will open up. Like if you see your Google Pay, it always asks you for your face, or it will ask you for your print this fingerprint, or it will ask for a particular code, then only the Google Pay will open. And after that it opens, then you do a transaction, then the second factor which is there, of you entering your pin, then only the transaction goes through. So same thing happens with WhatsApp also. It is there for your gallery also. And I would suggest doing this for all your social media accounts also. We've got cases wherein a particular person has taken the phone of the other person when that person went into the washroom. He or she knew the code of the phone, and or this phone was not locked in those many seconds. He took it and then just access the gallery. From the gallery he got some intimate pictures, and he forwarded those intimate pictures to himself, and from there it went on to many class groups and other places also. So it's very important that we have locks not just on the device but on the apps also.
So, we come to the last question of the ladder segment. And because this show is related to women elevation, you've been elevating women in your way, Ritesh, by helping them fight these kind of cyber crimes and cyberbullying. Please tell me that in this journey of so many years that you have seen so many cases, what have been some of the case studies of women who have fought back? That means, can you please share any inspiring stories of women with us who overcame digital threats and emerged stronger?
Well, I think there are plenty. I know many such women, and in fact, when some women victim comes to me and then they say no, we are scared and all, I make them speak to these victims. Their stories are really inspiring. The common thing that I saw in these stories, because if I have to narrate it, it will take a lot of time. The common thing I saw, they were very clear that we don't care about our name or kind of things because we've not done anything wrong. Second thing, why do we have to involve our families if we are adults? They were ready to take the victim head on because the police also told them, we will call your family and all. They said, why do we have to be scared? We are anyway adults. You still want to call our families? Call our families. We are okay with it. But we are going to take on to this particular man. So they were very hell-bent about it. They used to ask me, like, how do we have to go about it? So if I have to give you a case study, there was this lady, she was receiving video calls. When she was receiving the video calls on WhatsApp, the guy was flashing. Now, I know so many women who just go and block. She told me, can I trace this particular person? I say, you already have the number and everything and all. But no, but I want to find out the particular location and all. I say, see, such things can be done with the help of police and we can do that. She says, yeah, I need him to be arrested, period, wherever he is in the world. So she was very clear about it. She pursued it like anything. For days and days, she would sit in the police station. She says, I don't know. You have to go wherever this guy is, get him arrested. She got him arrested.
Wow.
Yeah. There was another girl wherein, she had shared her topless image with the other person, whom she thought was a girl, but actually that turned out to be a boy. And this particular boy started sextorting her. Every day he would message her and, say that, I want to have, I want you in my bed. I want to like make, I want to have sex with you. And so it's a typical sextortion thing. And when she tried her best, she went to the police and everything, but she was like, at that kind of time, you really need some support system also. So she came to us and she said, "Sir, come what may, I want to know who this person is and I want to get him arrested also." So we also did our social engineering. We tried to find out the IP and other kind of things. We found out he's from Bangalore. Then we raised the complaint in the with the Bangalore. At the end of, after lot many days and all, the Bangalore police arrested that particular person. So there have been many such women who just don't want to give up, and you shouldn't also. It's just that you really need to be okay. Somebody is like sextorting you, somebody is trying to do something related to revenge pornography. It's very important you go after them. The reason being, because if you don't stop it there, it is never going to stop. On the internet world, like today it may stop, tomorrow after 5 days it again comes back, and we've seen this happening. So the best is कि एक बार के लिए उसको जड़ से खत्म कर डालो.
So we have now entered the most interesting phase of our Snakes and Ladders show, Ritesh. You know the famous game, right?
Absolutely.
You can't escape, but you have to play this with us. So this is your board where you see the snakes, the ladder, that's your dice, and that's the queen, whom you have to move up to the ultimate, reign of success. Okay. So there is just one condition with the roll of dice. Wherever your, queen lands, reaches, okay, there will be a question asked to you, which you need to answer shortest, word possible, one word or, one short sentence. And let's see where you get our queen to.
Okay. I'm ready to roll. Should I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Oh, that's a 6.
That's Ritesh Bhatia with a clean 6. Ritesh, my question to you. If you could recommend one powerful ladder to help women rise above these digital snakes, what would it be?
Do not overshare.
Bingo. All right, let's look at the next one. Okay.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, okay. I come down.
That's all right, but we know that you're going to rise again. So my next question is, what are the critical steps every woman should take today to shield herself from cybercrimes?
So on Instagram, there's something trending, POV. Okay, the point of view. So here my POV is practice the pause and don't panic. That's the P. The O is the zero trust. Whatever you see, hear, read, just have zero trust on it. Once you will do that, you'll go to the third thing, that's the V, verify. Then verify that information. So whether it's a digital arrest, whether it's a fake website or whatever, the moment you pause, look at it with suspicion and verify it, there are no chances that कि आपको कोई सांप डसेगा.
Wow, that's the POV from Ritesh Bhatia. Let's look at the next move.
3.
Okay.
7, 8, 9.
There he goes up the ladder. Now, my next question to you is, Ritesh, the biggest digital threat you think is lurking for women today?
Well, I would say the deepfake and deep nudes.
Great. The next one, please.
1. Oh my God. And this brings me down to 2.
All right, that's a tough navigation route for you now.
But ये तो मेरे को ही डसते जा रहा है.
लेकिन आपको ऊपर जाना ही पड़ेगा.
I will.
Yes,
I will,
you will
of
take
course.
The women along with you also. So,
absolutely.
The most surprising thing you've discovered about cybercrime?
It's a lot of money. I wish I was on that side of the crime.
That's what you hear from a cybercrime expert, the one who stops and prevents. We don't want you to go to the other side. Next one, please.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, great. Do you think AI is making cybercrimes more difficult to prevent or easier?
I think it's a double-edged sword. Unfortunately, the hackers and the scamsters are using it quite a lot more and faster. And that's the reason it's just making it, cybercrimes to happen easier day by day.
So we need to get more smarter.
We need to get smarter. The companies need to implement AI faster. than these hackers.
Awesome. Let's look at your next move. Okay, that's a clean sweep.
2, 3,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, and I go up.
Very nice. Okay, so my question to you is, if someone's personal data is leaked online, can they ever fully recover from it?
Never ever. This is the thing about the internet. Once it's online, it stays there forever and ever. So you need to be very careful about your digital footprints.
Thank you, Ritesh. And with just 2 more spots for you to go, let's see how Ritesh Bhatia fares. Whoa.
Oh my God, you bring me down back to 2. I was just almost there.
Well, that's okay. It's always a step ahead of you.
Oh,
Let's
yes.
look at the positive side of it. But my question here, Ritesh, to you is, what are the hidden dangers of free Wi-Fi hotspots?
Okay, so they could also be like taking into your data. I mean, spying on you. Many times when you go into the restaurants, into the hotels, and you're checking in, and you see the hotel name. There could be another one also, the same name with underscore, absolutely free, no sign-in required, and you're just going over there. And that is the time you have actually signed into an internet, and the hacker is able to see everything that you're doing on your device. Which means if you're entering a password, he can see that. If you're doing some net banking details, they can see that. So you got to make sure that at the reception or in the coffee shops, you ask them which one is yours. So that's extremely important.
Again, interesting source of information for all of us. Do not rely on free Wi-Fi spots all the
Absolutely.
time. Let's look where we lead.
Okay,
Forward.
I think that's again a 6.
Yes.
And it takes me up and again to a ladder.
9. Great. So now my question to you is, what's the biggest myth people believe about online privacy?
That their information is private.
Which is not.
Which is
and
not.
Never. Okay.
Never.
Great. Let's see you.
Okay. Oh,
Okay.
2. And I come
Right
on a
there.
ladder.
So my question to you is, Ritesh, how do scamsters specifically target women when it comes to online dating app?
So they make their fake profiles. They show themselves to be like really somebody like millionaires and everything. Very smart people. Thanks to AI, they're able to create whatever image they want and they create a beautiful profile of theirs. You may fall for it, and then they start chatting with you, talking to you, and that's how they just want to target you again in terms of sextortion, or then calling you someplace and then duping you, or the third is financially. So you need to be very, very careful because that may not be the real guy as such.
I'm sure the ladies are listening to you. And with that, let's look at the
Okay.
next and the last lap of the game. Whoa, and that's
I
a
am
straight.
here.
Awesome, wonderful.
I've got your queen finally up the
Finally.
ladder.
Thank you so much. That was a clean and neat shot. And my last question, which I'm sure the audience will be extremely keen to know, because I know you've been working with so many celebrities, so many personalities. So out of all the celebs that you've worked with, whom did you thoroughly enjoy? Whose case did you thoroughly enjoy solving?
I've not worked with many celebs, maybe just 10, 12 of them. But amongst them, since we have the queen also over here, it has to be the king, SRK. Yeah, I really had a great time.
My heart skipped a beat, but of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean, very, very down to earth, very humble, gave me all the freedom, and I really had a good time being with him, that too in his house.
Wow,
At
wow.
Mannat. So, amazing person. So, yes. Otherwise, yeah, not that with others I didn't enjoy. Bhumi Bednekar is another one. And then there are many more.
Do we get to see you in MTV Troll Police again very soon?
Oh no, I think MTV Troll Police was an exciting one, a great show, and it won an award also. And it, like some people would say, oh, wasn't it scripted? I said, no, boss. It was a proper show. It was so challenging for me because I had to sit with each celeb, understand what were their concerns, and then find out. And then they would give me the handles that these were the people who were trolling them, trolling that particular celeb. And I had to do something what we call as social engineering, do social engineering with those trolls and try to, weave up some stories so that I could bring them to Mumbai that too on the sets. So I kind of unmasked 60 of them. There were 13
That's quite a
episodes.
lot.
Yeah. That's quite
It's
a lot. It was quite a lot of work also. And people actually thought, oh, it was scripted, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't. But yeah, no, I don't want to do it again. Because I understand that, you've been trolling them and all, but I was somewhere not okay, comfortable with this. This is what I realized later, that, you bring them to a show and now publicly do something like that. But then there is the other side also. These guys are also publicly trolling them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the one thing that I'm sure all of them realize, that anonymity is also a myth. Because these people were being anonymous and trolling. They always used to think that nobody can catch them, or they will just go. Yeah, they'll just go scot-free. But no, this show showed it that you can get caught.
So that's what, trollers beware, because Ritesh Bhatia is on the lookout for you. But thank you so much, Ritesh.
Thank you, Ronita.
Absolutely an amazing experience to have you here with us for the Snakes and Ladders show.
Pleasure was all mine, I must say that.
And now nobody can complain that, we are going to be only inviting women. We have our first,
that's
male
a
guest
privilege
on the show.
Yes, thank you so much.
The overall insights, the topics that we've discussed today was, I think, of humongous knowledge, for not only for me, but also for the audience who are watching or who will watch the SNL show again. But on behalf of the entire, team of Snakes and Ladder Show, we have a small gift from us to you. Please allow me to present this painting all the way from Egypt of the famous Pharaoh Tutankhamen, who ruled Egypt during the 1300 BC. But please accept it from us.
Oh, this is beautiful. This is really beautiful.
Because what I know that Ritesh Bhatia is a big time, photographer, a DIY, lover. He is very good with handicrafts. So please accept this.
Thank you so much. This is really beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching our show. And let's give a big round of applause for Ritesh Bhatia. And let's hope that he keeps enlightening us and fighting some of the greatest cases of cyber crimes and helping us out as he always has. Thank you, Ritesh.
But याद रखना, ये सांप सबको डसेगा.
Thank you, Ritesh.
Thank you.